Hey guys, Brian here with A&B Fishing Lure. I wanted to take tonight to just kind of share some things with you that I've found about making jig heads, that I've found that I like to do, and why I feel my jig heads are better than what you might find in the store, what you might find out there, and how I've kind of personalized my stuff. I also want to first of all say thank you to everybody that's given me a shot. Thank you to everybody out there that's following me. And I just want to take tonight to kind of go over a few things, over the last couple years that I've found that really just set things apart, and how I feel I make things tougher, stronger, and better. I know at first we had a lot of growing pains and had a lot of stuff to learn, but kind of feel like we've got it down, kind of got it down to a system now. But anyways, first thing I really want to kind of go over is how we bake our lures, and how we make the paint so hard, and what I found is better than what you might get in the store. But most powder paints that we coat with only call for about a 15 to 30 minute baking, and they say right around 300 degrees, if that. I like to bake mine anywhere from 325 to 350 degrees. And it also depends on the color. Like your chartreuse is going to be a tough color. It likes to run. Do it a little bit lower, right at 300 to 325. I also found I like to bake mine for a long time, at least an hour, 2 hours sometimes. Depending on the thickness of the coat and what I'm painting. So I definitely try to do that at least an hour every time. And don't get too many going at a time. Just try to get that heat even. And I definitely like to pull a jig head out of every run and test it. Make sure that paint's not going to chip. Make sure it's not going to break. I want it to hold up. Besides that, after that, we generally always run a clear coat over it, or a gel coat of epoxy. Anytime you add like eyes, or like these jig heads right here that I really just got done with, they got glitter on them. So we actually bake the glitter into the paint, but then I want to run an epoxy coat over that. Just kind of sturdies it, helps seal. I don't want any of that glitter. If we add eyes, I don't want them eyes to be lost. So with that, I kind of want to get to my next thing I want to talk about. I found, when I very first started out, it was kind of about money. Didn't want to really spend a lot. Kind of wanted to figure everything out, get everything down. And a lot of jig heads you'll find in a lot of stores will use this hook right here. It's a tinned hook. It's very light, very flexible. You can bend it. It will not last. They're super cheap. You can buy like 100 for like 14, 15 bucks. They work, but you want to, especially when you go into really big fish and you get into some good saltwater species and stuff like that, you want a hook that's going to last and hold up. So I've really just don't even use those hooks at all. I will not even touch them. I've generally thrown everything away that I had of those. Another thing I found is that the temperatures I like to bake everything at, they will oftentimes bronze on you, and they will get really weak. I've actually even had a few just break in the oven just from the heat of baking them. If I can't bake the paint to where it's going to last, and the hook, why do it? So what I've done is I've switched a lot of things up, a lot of mold modifications, but I use a lot of these bronze, like when I take a 60-degree hook, I use a lot of these bronze mustad hooks. Great hook, great all-around hook. But I'm using more than anything right now, and they cost me quite a bit of money. But these mustad Ultra Points heavy wire hook. These things are super, super sharp. I actually cut myself earlier. But you cannot bend these things. They will take to the heat. I've actually tested it, and they will handle 500-degree heat and are just fine in the oven. So I've gone to that. I also use another wider gapped hook on a few jig heads. It's basically the same thing, a black nickel, salt water. I can use it in salt water, and also very durable. So just kind of want to show you that. Another favorite hook I use them a lot, and really I use all their hooks in all live bait applications. I've always loved Gamakatsu. So I use these on a lot of these shad heads. A lot of people like these jig heads. Great on swim baits. You know, a lot of sassy shads. I make a lot of smaller heads for sassy shads. I use all Gamakatsu on those hooks. Very sturdy, black nickel, and they are super strong. You will not bend these hooks. I've got a few friends down in Florida, you know, fishing for redfish, big bull reds, use them on tarpon. They do not bend, and that's what I like to hear, you know. And basically, I'll take any criticism. That's the only way we grow, we improve, how I make things better. But anyways, I just kind of wanted to show you some things I use. I hope sets it kind of apart from what you might find out there. And you know, I hope to make some more of these videos in the future. Just kind of show you what we do. As you can see, a lot of jig heads in the background. We've been baking. Got a lot. Actually, just came out of the oven. So, anyways, share away, and I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody.